Make the ground shake.
What's going on, guys? My name is Renegade. Today we're here for Class Comparisons episode 4. No, wait, 3. Yeah, it's episode 3. So today we're going to be comparing Artifact Hunter versus Necromancer for soloing. Now, before we get into the video, as always, leave any suggestions for any other classes you want to see compared in the future. Remember to leave the category that you want to see them compared for as well. There's no point just saying, I want to see Blazebinder versus Defender. You got to say Blazebinder versus Defender for soloing, or whatever. While you're down there though, if you guys leave a like, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, that'd be awesome. But yeah, without any further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so we'll talk about Artifact Hunter's strengths and weaknesses. First of all, Destiny is a pretty powerful heal. Destiny, by the way, is the effect that is applied from the ability Destiny or Doom. So there's a 50% chance that you'll get the effect Destiny. And what Destiny does is it gives you a large HOT and increases your intellect and haste. So what that means is you'll basically be having a 500 heal over time for 3 ticks. So you'll have 3 lots of 500 health healed back to you. So it's pretty effective, although it does have a 50% chance of being applied, which is an issue I'll talk about in a couple of minutes. But yeah, so that's a pretty effective heal. Shiny Mirror Shield, which is the resistance buff ability, and it also reflects damage back at them. That's basically what it does. It just applies a resistance buff and it'll reflect a portion of your opponent's attack back at them. That is also pretty effective for monsters like the Blood Titan, where they have a Blood Rage or a period of time when they attack higher. What you do is you just apply Shiny Mirror Shield and they'll hit you, and you'll still take damage, but you'll reflect a portion of it. So it might be like 50% or something back at them. And so if they hit 500, you'll reflect 200. It's more effective in PvP, however. That's really quite effective. If someone's trying to nuke you and you just apply that, they'll nuke themselves for a certain amount as well, and you won't take as much damage. So it's really quite effective for monsters that hit quite high, or PvP or whatever. We're not really talking about PvP here today, though. Its damage output is quite high in this class. Doom combined with Strike of Awe and Supreme Arcane Spell and all the attacking abilities in this class, it really does increase your damage by quite a bit. It really is an effective attacking class. This class really does deal quite a bit of damage, and so if you can keep yourself healthy, then you're basically sweet, and you'll deal quite a bit of damage. It's quite a fast class for soloing. It really does get the job done fast, which is pretty good considering the fact that there's a 50% chance for Destiny or Doom to happen. You don't really want to be waiting around until you start getting Doom quite a bit of times in a row. You really want to be just killing them quickly. So yeah. The class is also very effective at gaining back mana. Whenever you crit, you gain back a really large amount of mana. It also helps for the fact that your 2 abilities that consume a lot of mana, your Shiny Mirror Shield and Destiny or Doom, both of those abilities consume 30 mana each. Those 2 abilities have quite long cooldowns, so you can't spam them even if you wanted to. Supreme Arcane Spell, which consumes 20 mana, has an 8-second cooldown, so you can't really spam that either. The only ability you can spam consumes 15 mana, that's Strike of Awe. And so you really don't consume all that much mana, as well as the fact that you gain it back quite well as well. So yeah, it's really quite effective for mana consumption. It's good at keeping its mana high. As for its weaknesses, Artifact Hunter has really only one weakness that I could think of. Nothing else really stood out. If you do have any other things you've noticed with Artifact Hunter though, you can leave them in the comment section down below. My weakness that I picked out though was the fact that Destiny has a 50% chance of being applied. If you're familiar with how probability works, you'll know that if something can be, it probably will be. What that means is, in this context, is Doom has a chance of it being applied 3 times in a row. Of course it does. That's how probability works. If something has a 50% chance of being applied, at some point you'll get it 3 times in a row, which means that you'll be 30 seconds without a heal. Whenever that does happen, you'll be 30 seconds without a heal at all. No health regain at all. Yeah, that pretty much screws you over. Every time it happens, you're pretty much dead. Shiny Mirror Shield does protect you from some of that, but again, Shining Mirror Shield has a 15-second cooldown, and it only increases your resistance for 4 seconds. So you really do struggle during that period of time. You're either dead or you're really low on health. You really do need that heal, and you just don't get it sometimes. So it's quite a big issue with this class that I noticed. We'll now talk about Necromancer. So what I'm going to do for Necromancer is I'm actually going to read out all the abilities descriptions, and I'm going to tell you the strengths and weaknesses of the abilities, and then I'll compare the two classes with more in-depth sort of analysis of what Necromancer can do. So Necromancer is essentially a class that will damage itself and weaken itself to deal more damage, if that makes sense. So you're dealing quite a bit of damage to yourself, a bit like how Paladin works, which is, I guess, how they get the Legion idea within the... sorry, did I say Paladin? I meant to say Legion Paladin. That's where they get the Legion idea from, the damage itself thing, and I believe Legion got the damage itself thing from Necromancer, so that's kind of cool, I guess. So its first ability is called Summon Minion, and what it does is it summons your Battle Pet. Now, its Battle Pet is like a skeleton thing, but what it essentially does is it'll double your damage, and it'll apply a DOT to yourself. So the DOT is about 150, and it lasts for 8 ticks. So it's 8 times 150 is about the amount of damage it'll deal to yourself. So that's around 1200 damage. It's quite a bit of damage. But again, it does double your damage, so it's kind of worth it. And if you can keep yourself healthy, then it's definitely worth the risk of dying. Now, your second ability here is called Weaken, and it applies a heal. And what this does is it'll heal you for a portion of the damage you deal. So the description actually says weakens a target, lowering damage and draining some of its life and healing you for the same amount. So it actually like lowers the target's damage output, I believe. And so I believe I'll just quickly calculate this for you guys. I'll see if I can just take some damage here from him so I can see my damage. So I can see my health a bit better. So I'm on around. Trying to just take a bit more damage here. Keeps missing me. Come on. There we go. Alright, so I'm on 1,657 health. I hit 1,275 and I healed my entire health back. So it looks like it's about half. It could be more, but it looks like it's about half. So I did heal my entire health back, so I could probably do this again. But yeah, it's about half. And so what that means is it's weird because I believe it still heals you even if you miss the ability. It's really strange, but this move has a 5-second cooldown, so you can heal well, but you can also heal badly, if that makes sense. But it also means that because it's tied to your damage output. This also means that if you have an unstable weapon and you hit really low, then you're going to heal really low. So an unstable weapon might increase your damage for some attacks, but if you hit low for this attack, then it really isn't worth it. Now I'll quickly try this again so I can heal a bit more reasonable amount. So 1,426, and I missed completely, and I healed back to 1,987. So do with that what you will. It's about 450 HP back, but it looks like it heals more if you hit high. So it's kind of strange, but just say it heals around, because it hits around 1,000 if it crits, and around 600 if it doesn't crit. Let's just say that this ability heals around 500, in the ballpark of 500. Now its third ability is called Infect. It doesn't consume any mana because it's a mana regain ability. It consumes 3 mana. It has a 3-second cooldown. Infect yourself, damaging your health to restore HP. So it damages yourself by about 450, but it restores quite a bit of HP. Let's just quite a bit of mana. Let's just do our first ability here. It restores about sort of 25 mana, which is pretty good, especially considering you can actually spam that ability. Now, with this combined with your first ability, I wouldn't apply these in conjunction with each other. I wouldn't have these two things applying at the same time, your Summon Minion and your Infect ability, as they really do kill you. They kill you. That's a really big weakness of this class. You can kill yourself quite easily if you aren't careful, so you need to be aware of what you're doing with this class. Command Undead is an ability that basically orders your pet to do an attack, and it's quite a large attack actually, and combined with the summon minion ability, you'll be dealing around sort of within the ballpark of 2k with crits. And so you really can deal a lot of damage with this class if you're careful with it, and you can restore HP at a pretty decent rate. It's not great, it's not amazing at restoring HP, and fighting monsters like the Blood Titan, you'll find some really big issues. But yeah, they both, Artifact Hunter and Necromancer, have their weaknesses and strengths. Overall, I'd say that Necromancer's weaknesses are the fact that it damages itself and it has some mana issues, whereas its strengths are it can deal a lot of damage and it heals fairly consistently. More consistently than Artifact Hunter, but not as well as Artifact Hunter does heal. So you have to make the trade up. Let's get into the final verdict. Alright, so as for the final verdict, I'm going to probably have to give this one to Artifact Hunter. This is a really close one because they both have fairly glaring weaknesses. Again, Artifact Hunter has a really big weakness in the sense that its ability to heal is stifled by the fact that it has a 50% chance to happen at all. And Necromancer has the weakness that to deal any good damage, you have to really damage yourself. And in fights where it gets close to you dying, this is really going to hold you back. And also in the sense that if you run out of mana and you're running out of HP, you're really stuck. There is no surefire way of getting mana back in Necromancer other than to just like damage yourself. And so it really is quite hard to balance Necromancer well in prolonged battles. But if you're battling a monster that doesn't deal much damage, then you're really going to have an easy time of it. Its heal isn't really that effective, whereas Artifact Hunter's one is. But Necromancer's heal is more consistent, whereas Artifact Hunter's one is far from consistent. It really does work well, but that's only when it is applied. It really is quite rare. Well, not rare, but you know what I mean. Like, it's almost against you, you know what I mean? Like, you feel like the class is not working with you. You're working to make the class work for you. You're working hard to get the class to work for you. So, it really is a trade-up, but I'd probably give the edge here to Artifact Hunter just because it doesn't have mana issues like Necromancer does. And by the way, guys, I've seen you guys complaining in the comment section about me talking about Darkblood Storm King last week. I had a similar problem with Darkblood Storm King and the fact that if you don't consume a lot of mana, you'll be dealing very little damage. So, like, then Troll Spellsmith had the edge there anyway. So this is in the same situation. If you don't damage yourself and consume a lot of mana, you're not going to be doing a lot of damage. This class really doesn't deal with that much damage if you don't have Summon Minion applied. The Summon Minion ability, I don't know what the effect is actually called. So it's the same situation. If you don't have that applied, sure, you'll probably survive longer, but you're going to be attacking really slowly, and so I'd still give the edge to Artifact Hunter. Yeah, Artifact Hunter has a stronger heal. Artifact Hunter attacks probably better still, even over Necromancer. It probably still does more damage. Has better mana regeneration, whereas Necromancer has a worse heal, mana issues, damage issues, and it kills itself quite often. So there. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, then leave a like. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. This is a weekly series. It'll come out on Saturdays at 3 PM Eastern Standard Time. This is a Sunday episode. I'm sorry about that, guys. I was watching Captain America Civil War with some friends, and just as at the end of this video here, that movie was fucking awesome. If you haven't seen it, then go and see it. I believe it came out in US theaters recently, like a couple of days ago or something. I don't know. Regardless, go and see it. It's really, really good. If you're a fan of the Marvel Universe, or even like not a fan of the Marvel Universe, it's really good. No complaints with that movie at all. It was awesome. But yeah, it's not why we're here. We're here to go. So yeah, see you later, guys.